Now we can go.
Wow. Any reason for that?
Is it safe to say Kadarius Toney going forward is going to be your punt returner?
Yeah. Right now he's. I can't wait to see him get a ball kicked to him. We haven't had that option really. I mean, they did a good job last week of using the sidelines and hanging the ball up pretty good. So, sooner or later he's going to get one kicked to him. We're going to find out what he's got. I got a pretty good feeling about it though.
Does it make you nervous at all, where he just lets the ball fall and then he'll go grab it and try to run real quick?
Well, yeah, he's got to do a little bit better with some reads, but he'll, that's part of the learning experience. He's young, and he's going to get better and better. But he's something with the ball in his hand. So
just to be clear on that, so that's not a style. That's not like
no.
I can wait and catch it on the run.
No.
You'd rather settle under it, catch it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some reads that he's got to make, and he could have like a pre-punt read that he could make to kind of get a jump on the ball that he didn't necessarily do a good job of in that game. That he would do better next time, and then he'll be there waiting on the ball instead of letting it bounce. The thing that I like about him, he's very courageous. I mean, there's no question about that. No, we just got to pull him back a little bit. He's anxious. He wants to get going. He wants the ball in his hands. So, I'm just excited when he does get one kicked to him.
Go ahead.
Well, at the beginning of the game, the onside kick before that, but you guys have different captains every week. And
Yep.
Instructions are told them out there.
Right.
Just take us through what happened there, and then.
Okay, I'm gonna take the full blame on that because I'm the one that gives the instructions to the captains. So it's my job to make sure it's clear exactly what we want to get done. We had a communication problem there, obviously. If we win the toss, we want to defer. That's what we do. So it was it's something that it's an honest mistake that happened, communication problem. And that's on me.
The part where you guys do have different captains, that's an honor for the guys to get
Yes.
together and do that. Does that complicate the issue at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's different than a lot of teams. We have different guys out there, and some guys never done it before, and we have to, like we talk about, like, who's going to speak this week? Like, who's going to be that guy? And some guys never done it before. So it's a learning experience that, I have to get them coached up a little bit before, and we have to make sure we get the right call made there. So
With the onside kick, just how much do you go through that scenario, and how sort of surprising is it from a number standpoint to have an onside to start the game?
yeah, it's we practice it. I mean, obviously that's why we have guys in that zone right there. They just have to see the ball kicked, and instead of they didn't see the ball kicked. They were watching it, but they really weren't watching it. And I didn't remind them. So that's my fault. I have to remind them every time. And I didn't in that case. So I'll take the blame on that too.
I know your preference would be to have Isaiah returning every kickoff, but
Yeah.
is his workload now getting to the point? I know Sky returned one the other day.
Sky returned one because in that scenario he's on the hands team, so he's in there for that situation. Yeah, I mean we're gonna start looking at other guys too as well, but I really like Isaiah back there. He's dangerous, and it's really not bad for him to start out back there and get the game going for him a little bit rather than just start off on offense. So I think right now we're pretty comfortable with him being back there. We're not getting a lot of returns.
He runs down on kicks too, and I noticed that
He did,
he
but
got a little gimpy and he didn't.
we took him out. That's the first thing we're going to take him out on. To be honest with you, would be kickoff. We'll take him off a kickoff, and probably going forward here, unless he's getting less reps on offense. But because he was effective there too. He did a good job in there. So he's a good football player. We're going to keep him on kick returns though.
Coach, the theory on the punts where the kicking team touches it first.
Yes.
Your coaching points are only good things can happen at that point.
Well, if they touch it, it's an illegal touch. Now we can pick the ball up, free return. So that's what we were trying to do in that case. They got to make sure they see it, hit the guy. It's got to be clear. So once they see the ball hit him and the ball's rolling around on the ground, we're going to try to pick it up and return it. Team last year returned one for a touchdown. I can't remember who it was, but they picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. So that's a scenario that we look for. That's what happened in that case. It looked like we were being dumb, but really we were being smart. And then we ended up, the ball was going to be downed on a 1, and we ended up getting the ball in the 20, so we picked up 20 yards. So,
Coach, I mean, your whole operation is nuanced, right? There's more different little quirks in your neck of the woods than there is anywhere else.
yes.
I'm not talking about just in general. You ever had a guy that you're like, he can't get it. We got too many things, and there's just a guy you can't reach. You can't get him to understand.
Sometimes, sometimes, but it takes a lot. I mean, I'm gonna I'm gonna extend myself as a coach to try to bring out the best in all the players. Sometimes, you know, it just doesn't penetrate on some guys, but we're not in that situation now. I mean, we don't have anybody
No,
like
no,
that.
I'm
Yeah.
just asking
Yeah.
theoretically, right? It's for next week. No, I'm just kidding.
I hear you.
But can you get enough reps in practice, or in training camp, to kind of figure out who is and who isn't, or?
Well, I mean, at this point now, I mean, we have 12 games under our belt plus training camp. So, you know, I tell the rookies, we have a lot of rookies, but I tell them, you're not rookies anymore. You know, I mean, it's time now. I mean, we have to perform. It's not, you know, there is no more, there's no excuse. You know, those excuses are gone. So, I mean, any mistake we make now, it's because, you know, they're just not putting it all together. So,
Let's go three more. Herbie, Adam.
go ahead.
Coach, Chris Lamont is one of your core guys.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't play this week because he's still in the concussion protocol, how do you go about replacing a guy like that?
It's hard to replace him with one. We don't have one guy that can replace him in all the spots. So we'll ask, you know, a couple guys to fill in. Like one guy will take 2 of his spots, and another guy will take another 2. But yeah, that's a big loss for us. He's, you know, he's a potential Pro Bowl player. You know, he's the one that we put up there to get votes as that guy. So he's an important guy to us. If he doesn't play, somebody has to step in and take his role.
Let's go, Adam.
Coach, with playing at SoFi Stadium, there's a couple other stadiums similar to the indoor venue. How does that change maybe the punting for Tommy Townsend and maybe the return guys with the indoor?
Yeah, the indoor, it's a perfect vacuum. You know, it's a little bit of, it's kind of a, you know, they have like a little bit of breeze in there, but it's not bad. It's not going to affect the ball. So, you know, we take that factor away. You don't have to worry about the wind really. So the balls will hang a little bit more, you know, and the guys should have success when, you know, our guys should have success. And then the punt returners, we have, you know, it's going to be tough to get returns because the ball will be hanging up. So we have to do a good job of blocking guys, blocking the gunners.
Last one, Matt.
Coach, you spoke about it briefly, but that Lamont's play was like next level heads up. That doesn't happen very often. As a coach, how gratifying is it that he netted you 18 yards in that play?
Well, I was glad the way it turned out, and I said, were you sure that he touched it? He said, yes. You know, I was sure that he touched it. So I mean that we knew we were okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
So,